Hello and welcome to Stretford Paddock. My name is Joe, that is Adam McKola, and this is Uncensored. We're going to be talking about loads of stuff today. We haven't spoken in a while, so we're going to be talking about Ten Hag. Has he saved his job with that draw against Liverpool? Richard Keys and Graham Souness popping off, thinking they know what's going on. All sorts. We're talking about it. Romano's telling us, some of our transfer targets for the winter, so we're going to go over them as well. But before all of that, in 9 days' time, we will be in Dublin. Adam McKola, tell me about Stretford Paddock live in Dublin.
It's going to be amazing, Joe. It's going to be me, you, Steve, and Jay. Maybe even Uncle Webb is going to come along. Yeah. We're going to have a little bit of a chit-chat up on that stage. Now, we're not going to talk about football and that. Actually, we may do a little bit, but mainly we're just going to be having some fun. We're going to be having a laugh. We're going to be having a chat with the audience, seeing what's going down. And then, if that's not enough for you, Wes Brown's going to be joining us. The man who won 2 European Cups, assisted Cristiano Ronaldo in the 08 final, Jimmy Murphy Player of the Year in 1999. Mm-hmm. Yeah. He won that twice as well, by the way. Not only that, Premier League winner, all that stuff. He's going to be with us as well on stage. Now, we know Wes, he loves a good time, so he's going to be good crack as well. And yeah, it's going to be a great day just after Christmas. So if you need to get someone a Christmas present and they're a Manchester United fan and they're in Dublin or can be in Dublin on the 28th, then get yourselves 2 tickets. Because you know what I think, Joe? Nowadays, everyone's worried about the materialistic things. But just experience something with one of your bezies.
Nothing like it, is there? Nothing like it.
Seeing
just
a few
going
out,
on stage,
having a
football.
few drinks. All right, don't put them off.
Oh, right, sorry.
But Wes Brown's there.
I know,
you know what I mean?
He's got some
Not every day Wes Brown comes to your town.
No, absolutely. The link to the tickets
and he'll be telling
is in
stories
the
he
description
don't
as well.
usually tell anywhere.
Oh yeah, you're not going to get that MUTV stuff. This is like the uncensored, XXXX stuff. That's what I'm hoping anyway.
What went down in San Diego stays in San Diego, except it's not going to stay in San Diego because it's going to be on their stage in Dublin.
Exactly. Make sure you check out the tickets in the description. Come down, have a chat, enjoy the show, and we will be having a fantastic time. I'm going to hit you with a name, Adam McKola, okay? And I want your first thoughts on this human being. Baby. Serhu Yadali Guirassy. Thoughts?
Who? Say that again?
Serhu Yadali Guirassy. Thoughts?
Get a lot of points for that on Scrabble, wouldn't you?
Definitely. Yes. If I were to say to you, 18 goals in 13 games in Germany this season, centre forward for VfB Stuttgart, and is available for around 17 million euros in January. Fabrizio Romano has said that United are interested and that United could well pay that 17 million pound fee. Now, what do you say about him?
Joe. Come on. I'm not going to sit here and pretend to know who this guy is. Actually, shall I?
Yeah, go on.
All right, it's Christmas. His classmate. I think Manchester United should be signing this guy. How many goals did you say for Stuttgart? 18 goals for Stuttgart.
In 13
He's only
games.
16 years old, which is incredible.
He's 27.
And he's 16 years old, which is absolutely incredible. And to get someone at 16 years old who scores that many goals at that price as well, I just think it's absolutely phenomenal.
It is absolutely phenomenal.
So if I were Manchester United, go out and buy him right now. And I mean, if Fabrizio Romano says it, that means it's already done and dusted. So what's his name? Jan Vennegoor Hesseling.
Serhu Guirassy. The good thing is, though, you're pointing out...
So nowadays, just go and stick Serhu Guirassy on the back of your shirt because it's as good as done. Next.
You're pointing out a good point, though, here, is that you're buying someone that is obviously having this amazing season, but he's 27 years old and no one had heard of him until the start of this year. He was born in France, came through the France... Oh, yeah, you did, sorry. Came through the France sort of youth teams up to the under-20s, then has never played for France and now plays for Guinea. He's played 12 times for them, so international career hasn't really sort of taken off. Only 12 appearances by the age of 27.
I bet you, yeah. There's someone out there pretending they've heard of him.
Oh, yeah, there will be. There will be. There'll be people that
And that'll
think,
be us in a month. But I mean,
once we watch a couple of YouTube
some people that
montages.
cut to me welcoming him to the club and saying, you know what, this many goals for Stuttgart, I think it's incredible. 16 years old, welcome to Manchester United.
He's 27. Let's just clear that up. I know you're doing this thing where you're pretending to know he is. He's 27 years old. Do you think that about roughly somewhere in the region of 17 million euros? Obviously, he's not a huge name. He's someone that is.
If he's worth 17 million euros nowadays,
Yeah.
I'd be worried by that.
He's too cheap. You're sending the food back because it's too cheap.
No, you don't. You go. Wait a minute. I've ordered all of that, and you've charged me £17. I'm not eating it.
Imagine as well
That's
when he
weird.
signed his contract.
I'm not eating it. That's far too cheap.
He signed his contract, and like at Barcelona and that, they sound like Busquets on a new deal or whatever, and it's like a €1 billion release clause. And he was signing it, and they were like, "We've put a €17 million release clause." What? So how shit do you think I am that you're putting a €17 million release clause in this bitch? Like, how low do you rate me?
If someone goes to 17, we're taking it.
Yeah, it's almost disrespectful to him. He's only been there for 2 years.
You don't get nothing for 17 million nowadays.
No. Exactly.
Well, obviously you get a 16-year-old that scores 18 goes to Stuttgart, but yeah, it's not happening. You know what's happened there?
What?
What's his name again?
Guirassy.
Guirassy. His agent, who is Jan Vennegoor Pesseling, by the way.
Yeah.
That's why I was getting confused at that point. He bowed Fabrizio Romano and he said, listen, help me drum up some interest in my player. And then, all right, sound.
But in fairness, 18 goals in 13 games, that drums up its own interest, doesn't it? In fact, like, if you're outscoring your games played, you're doing something right. And it's not like 4 goals in 2 games. This is 18
If we're going to buy a
goals is a
striker, just
substantial
go
amount.
buy Ivan Toney.
But he's going to cost 80 million quid or something ridiculous.
Yeah, good. We spent 80 million quid on fucking Antony.
Yeah, but we
He's
haven't
as
got
useless
it left
as
no
me.
more. We used all of our last coins on Antony, and we can't.
I'm
do that
better
anymore.
than Antony. I know it. I know it. I know it.
Deluded.
I'm sick of him.
Absolutely deluded, though, aren't you? Do you actually? I've got a feeling you
All right,
actually
all
believe
right,
that.
all right. No, I'm not better than Antony because he's fitter than me, obviously. But listen, and that's the only difference.
Yeah.
All right. So listen, you see, if it was him up until we get to a certain point in the box, present me the opportunities he gets in and around the box. I'm doing better with them, bro. He's a fucking idiot, bro. He can't cross. He seems to think once he gets into a little bit of space, the job's done. Oh, now I'll just do a lazy pass to one of the defenders. Tired, man.
Yeah.
People can say I'm being harsh on him, yeah, because he's played all right recently. Oh yeah, he's done a few slide tackles. He's a winger,
Yeah.
an £80 million winger
The output is
who
worrying.
can't
isn't
complete
it?
a pass.
The output across the front 4 is really worrying as well. And if we look back to last season,
But what do you expect when your winger, who's supposed to, this is what I was having that argument with Rory about the other day. Yeah, I was moaning about McTominay as I do, because the guy's useless. I was moaning about McTominay, and Rory's going, "Oh, well, you don't moan about Højlund the same." And it's like, bro, how can I moan about the 20-year-old striker who's up front running around like a blue-ass fly? Yeah. Meanwhile, he's got Scott McTominay behind him who can't pass wind. You got Antony who can't beat a defender, and if he does by some chance beat a defender like he did beat Trent, he can't pass either. And then you got who plays on the left? Garnacho. All right, Garnacho's pretty good, but again, he's very like he's looking to score himself. Same with Marcus Rashford, who's been getting a lot of criticism this year. He's creating most chances for Højlund than I've seen anyone create. There's no one creates anything for the poor fella. And when I say that about any of our strikers, when Rashford plays through the middle, Marshall plays through the middle, whoever it is, I say the same things and I get this. But it's the truth. We don't create enough, and we got useless wingers. Daniel James was better. Daniel James was crap.
If you could have one winger from sort of post Cristiano Ronaldo leaving Man United and before
Angel
he
Di
came back,
Maria.
really? You think Ten Hag could make it work?
Angel Di Maria. Who else?
Your other options, you got Nani. I know he didn't arrive after Ronaldo, but he was here.
Oh, I thought you meant
Ronaldo,
arrivals after.
Okay. No, just
Nani's
who played
shout,
after.
But Di Maria's better, isn't it?
Yeah,
better
but
player,
why would
not
that
better
work
for Man
this time when
United,
it didn't
but
work last time?
Because he knows PSG is shit now, innit? Before it was like, well, he knows we're shit as well, to be fair. I don't know, man. I just think he's the better player on paper. He's the best winger we've had on paper.
Speaking of better player on paper, Timo Werner?
In that period.
When you hear the words Timo Werner, what do you think?
He's just a short back Vegas, isn't he?
In what way is he a short back Veghorst? Because Veghorst
runs around a lot. Loads
Right.
of passion and I run about here, but really and truly couldn't hit a fucking barn door with a fucking Range Rover.
Okay. So we'll say no to him then. What about Daniel Malen?
Heard of him, but I don't know enough about him apart from the sporadic appearances I've seen for Holland of his. Yeah, so fucking sign him up, I guess.
So we're getting Malen and we're getting Guirassy. That's the January transfer window done, is it?
Degrassi.
Neil deGrasse Tyson. That's who we're going to get up for. See if he can
May as well
put a
get
few
Neil
balls
Patrick
in.
Harris. Fuck's sake.
I've been trying to think of Neil Patrick Harris's name for about 2 weeks. Oh my God, I can't believe you just done it for me. Thank you so much. I said I wasn't going to Google it, and I just thought it'll come to me, or the world will give it to me. And I actually can't believe you just given me that.
I've brought it to you.
I've been thinking of his face for fucking ages, probably over a week now. Because he was in a Doctor Who episode recently, wasn't he? And my dad watched it and he was like, oh, it's got Doogie Howser in it. And I was like, don't tell me his name, I'll remember it. And then now it's finally, the universe handed it to me. Neil Patrick Harris. Thank you very much. Yeah, we'll sign him up. Oh my God, that's amazing that. You absolutely saved me. I want to have a chat to you about today's sponsor, Manscaped. Yes, man. Yeah? Yes? You excited? You ready? Let's do it.
Yeah, man,
Manscaped are the
let's go.
best in below the belt grooming in the world. There are millions and millions and millions of men who agree with us. And if you use the code Paddock20 at checkout, you will get 20% off and free shipping. And Mrs. Claus will thank you. Adam, you've had the Performance Package 2.0, 3.0, 4.0. Now we've got the Performance Package 5 Ultra, including the Lawnmower 5.0 Ultra. Talk to me about the Lawnmower 5.0 Ultra.
It's
please.
all I've really ever wanted for Christmas, you know.
Yeah.
It is. And I mean, if you haven't got it for me under my Christmas tree this year, I'm going to be a very unhappy bunny. And I mean, I've used an Easter pun there when we're talking about Christmas, and
That's okay.
that's a little bit worrying. But, you know, it's Christmas time. Let's go crazy, yeah? And I think that special loved one in your life would love a Manscaped 5.0 for Christmas.
It's not just the 5.0.
New year, new me. You know what I mean?
Exactly. It's not just the Lawnmower 5.0. You've also got the Weed
New
Whacker
year,
2.0.
new me, new balls.
Ear and nose hair trimmer as
Put that on
well.
a
You get the
t-shirt.
Boxers 2.0, and you get the signature jewel pouch to keep you cool, calm, and collected. Also, there's the Shears 3.0 nail grooming kit. There's also the Manscaped Beard Hedger Pro kit and Handyman electric face shaver for all your facial needs. Like, honestly, if you think that needs trimming, go to Manscaped because they will have something for it. Make sure you check out manscaped.com. Use the code Paddock20 for 20% off and free shipping. Like, I mean, 20% off and free shipping. You might as well give it a go just with that alone. Thank you again to Manscaped, and say ho 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 to well-groomed mistletoe with Manscaped. Graham Souness then, eh? If I could
Talking
be
about
so bold.
balls.
Did you see him the other day?
No, I don't, mate. You know what it is, yeah? I've tried to become. I'm a very angry person
Yeah.
at the world. It's just a shit place, to be totally honest with you. My football team's shit. Like, there's people like Graham Souness online, and not just even in the football world. Whatever world you're from, there's just scumbaggery everywhere.
Mm.
So I try to avoid it. And what I find is a lot of people these days, yeah, they entertain scumbaggery, right? They open their doors and their hearts and their arms to it, and they welcome it into their lives every day. Meanwhile, simultaneously complaining about it.
Mm.
So I just feel when you do that, you're part of the problem. You're part of the problem of allowing them to be a problem for you.
I don't listen to sad music because it makes me sad. Is that the same thing that you're talking about?
Yeah, although sometimes you need to put on a sad one.
And sometimes maybe you need to listen to a little Graham Souness just to sort of boost you up a touch. Do you know what I mean? Just to give you that little pret a manger to your step. Maybe sometimes you need a little
well,
Graham
what I'm
Souness.
gonna do is I'm gonna open my arms to scumbaggery then.
Okay, so he's been saying that there's nothing to be critical about Liverpool after that game. He was talking about the 12 corners that they had, 70% possession. He said that they were the only team trying to win the game. Basically the same stuff that Van Dijk was saying. Do you think that this Liverpool seemingly have just put up this wall of like, we're fantastic, that result was great, United are stupid, United are shit, even though we both came out with a point each? Does it feel as though they're sort of trying to convince themselves that that performance was better than it was? Or do you think United got away with one?
You know what happened, yeah? You got twats like Souness and Phil Thompson and all these dicks, yeah, coming out now. And you know what's happened? We've ruined their Christmas, haven't we? Because all these morons, yeah, these dickheads that were, oh, we're going to batter you 5-0 and 6. We're allowed to say that. We're about to get battered. Oh, I'm a bit worried we might get battered here. Yeah, of course, United fans say that. You within your rights. But these mugs, yeah, they thought they were going to absolutely write us off. That's what they thought. They saw Bournemouth hand us one and beat us 3-0. And they thought if Bournemouth do that, it's going to be 10-0 at Anfield on the weekend. And even if they won 1-0, yeah, they wouldn't have been happy with that.
No.
Because they had got themselves so amped up to have a little taste of Manchester United on the weekend that when we rocked up and we didn't allow them to score, they took it as like, it was like we called them. Sorry for that. You can cut that out. You can censor that. And it was like, wait a minute, we've done nothing wrong here.
They were so convinced.
We didn't take our chances. Højlund could have scored one. If Antony had a brain, we might have had a chance. There was a few balls that flashed across the box that you think, oh, on another day, you know, if McTominay could potentially get on one of them or something like that. But we never took our chances and we got a draw. All right, you're upset because you never battered us in it. That's literally what it is.
Yeah,
mugs.
I agree. I think they got to the point where they were so certain it was going to be 3, 4, 5 plus goals.
No, not 3, not 4. They fought 7 or more. I promise you, they fought another 7-0. All them. Yeah. I bet you they were selling tickets for you know the sale value of those tickets must have been like, yo, roll up. You're gonna get to see us absolutely pummel Manchester United. I promise you, that's what they were doing, bro. I promise. I can guarantee it. A ticket was probably worth, you know, before Bournemouth beat us 3-0. You know, like some people buy tickets for above face. I would never do that. Don't do that. Yeah. Like, they were probably selling them for some dough, bruv. Like, yeah, come and watch Man United get absolutely slapped. So then you've probably got people in the stands that have spent about a bag or two on tickets. Now watching 37-year-old Johnny Evans, or however old he is, yeah, rock up to Manchester. Shall I tell you something about Johnny Evans? Never been beaten at Anfield.
That's such a mad stat, that. I heard it before the game and thought, well, that's ending today. And it didn't. How mad is that? How many times has he played there? Do we know?
I don't care. It's going to be a handful of times. And he's probably missed one through injury or something, but yeah.
It is mad. It's impressive though, isn't it?
That's what's their problem. They got upset because we ruined their party.
Evans and Varane in particular were excellent, I thought. Do you think that's going to be the partnership going forward? Do we see Martinez come back in with Varane? What's going on?
Martinez should come in with Varane. The fact that Varane's been sat on the bench while he's been fit and available, seemingly. Now, if there was an underlying issue or he couldn't play as much minutes or whatever, okay. That's a head scratcher. Because it's all well and good being nice to Maguire because he's doing all right. But the facts are we conceded 4 against Copenhagen, 3 against whoever, 3 against Port. Like, you could have been just starting Varane. And Maguire, even. You could start next to each other.
Yeah.
You could have started... the fact that he hasn't is just... You start your best players, man. And if that means hurting the feelings of someone because they're doing all right, then so be it.
Yeah.
Like, so that's just a head scratcher to me. But the trouble is, Johnny Evans, he must have thought when he arrived. I remember speaking to him in San Diego. He must have thought when he arrived, I'm going to play, 5 games this season?
Yeah.
He's already played that already?
I know. Let's see how many games he's actually played. He's played... Fuck off. He's already played 9 games in the league. He's played 9 games in the league, 2 in the Champions League, 1 in the League Cup. Well, no, he wasn't classing all of them. You could argue he didn't help us not lose to Arsenal when he came on. You could argue that.
No, that's unfair. That's unfair. I remember watching those moments back when people blamed him and it wasn't his fault. I can't explain why right now because I can't remember the instances I've wiped from my mind. But I remember watching back.
I can't prove it, but just trust me. Right? He wasn't at fault.
Burnley, he won us the game, scored a goal which got disallowed, assist, all that. The man, clean sheets. There was also up until we've lost 2 games with him in the team, by the way. But there was a long time where whenever he played, whenever he started, we didn't lose. And this season we were losing every other game.
Yeah, I mean,
I told you he's better than Maguire.
Fucking hell. Just on Evans and on the tour, we're looking at last season and everything that was going on, and we looked at the start of the season and the team that was sort of playing in those games pre-season when everyone was fit, and we're still an absolute mile off that. Do you think that the injuries and the fact that Mount and Casemiro and Martinez and
of
Rashford,
course they have.
Do you think that? But do you think that that's almost keeping
Rashford's not been injured?
No, I said out of form. Do you think it's almost keeping him out of the firing line a little bit? Do you think that's helping him keep his job a bit?
No, it's not helping him.
You don't?
At all. Because he's still getting blasted from all ends anyway. No one mentions Manchester United's injuries. But deep down, I've known... Look, you can't lose 3-0 against Bournemouth. I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
That should not be happening.
Yeah.
There's no excuses for that. Like, there's no excuses for losing against Crystal Palace at home. No excuse whatsoever. No excuse for some of the stuff we've seen in certain games. But you're losing against your Arsenals and your Spurses and your Brightons and your Cities without some of the players that we've had. That's phenomenal. Like, it's incredible. And even some of the players that are in the team right now, they've been out for large chunks of games. Like, and then you look at the numbers that are still out right now. You know how important Alessandro Martinez and Casemiro must be as well to that dressing room.
Like last season, they were 2 of our best players.
Mate, if we could just... you know what is bothering me?
What?
I don't think anyone... Actually, I said this on the club, but I don't think... Actually, it's not a fucking unique thought, I'm sure. The manager only picked that team because Bruno wasn't available. Had Bruno been available, he picks Bruno, McTominay, for fuck's sake, and Amrabat.
Yeah.
Or Maino. Not both. Now Bruno's going to come back, who needs to go into the team and should really go Bruno in, McTominay out. Because that's the position Bruno should be playing in. and he's the better player, quite clearly. But what's going to happen is it's going to go Amrabat or Maino out, Bruno in. And then McTominay's somehow going to stay in the team, man.
Yeah.
Then we're going to be back to playing like shit. And McTominay's going to score the only goal in a 1-1 draw against West Ham or some trash like that. And we're going to have to stick with him in the team again for another 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks.
Just
horrendous. I don't know what's happening, man.
Trying to look at the positives.
Kobe Maino, he's so fucking good, man.
Yeah, well, yeah. Trying to look at the positives of what you've just said there. Then Amrabat and Maino is a partnership you like, by the sound of things.
I need to see more from Amrabat.
Okay.
But I'd like to see him given the opportunity to play with Maino for a bit until Casemiro comes in. Eriksen's just come back. You could even play Maino, Eriksen, Bruno, maybe. Because Maino, he does it all, man. He's so fucking good.
Are you impressed?
There was one point,
surprised?
where I'm a bit surprised at how composed he looked at Anfield. I'm not surprised at how good he is. I'm surprised that how can you be so composed in that?
Yeah.
Like there was a point, where he was chasing someone down the flank, and I just went, Kobe Maino's going to win that. And he win it. And it's like, I used to do that with Kante. Remember when Kante used to be running at someone and you go, Kante's ball that.
Yeah.
Even like if they were one-on-one, like just going. Now, not to. Kante, his pomp was unreal, so I'm not comparing the two. But in that moment, I was just like. And plus, Maino's got a bit more about him, I think. In his locker.
Mm.
But Maino, in that moment, I was just like, it's Maino's ball, that is. And he's playing against. All right, I don't really rate Endo too tough. Szoboszlai, very good player. And who's the other one that was playing? Wijnaldum. Not Wijnaldum, sorry, the other fella.
Wijnaldum.
The Dutch fella.
It's Wijnaldum.
No. Gravenberch.
Yeah.
Two very, very good central midfielders.
Yeah.
An 18-year-old Kobe Maino rocked up and went, Anfield, not arse.
Yeah. And that pass into Garnacho as well. Like, it's not just the sort of little bits off the ball, it's the composure on the ball.
That tackle by Trent, man.
Yeah. It was a good tackle.
It's a shame. Yeah, it was a very, very... Could you know what? If Garnacho can just get that out of his feet, he's fouled. Or he shoots. Like, it's such a timely tackle. It was a match-winning tackle that. I went, Garnacho scoring.
Yeah.
Like, I just went, it's a goal. It just felt like that, didn't it?
If that was maybe if Garnacho in 2 years or 5 years.
Or if Kobe just had a bit more on the pass. But it was an excellent pass. Not to take anything away from the pass.
You get to a certain point there where you know the bloke's behind you, so you almost knock it across them so that the only way they can get to the ball now is going through you. You know, if it was Rashford or Garnacho in a couple of years, maybe he could have done that.
I think he underestimated Trent in that, like how quick Trent is at that point. Because most fullbacks, they're not getting that side of you now.
No.
Once Garnacho nips that, because he did push it. Once he pushed it and he got onto the pass, you're like, Garnacho's in. Like I didn't expect Trent to get back. So maybe Garnacho kind of thought that as well. But yeah, you want to see him trying to get his body across. But then if he gets his body across, it makes it more difficult for him to shoot, right?
To shoot, yeah.
Because he's kind of putting his body, like he's putting the ball like in the center of his body. So I get why he did it. But yeah, it was an excellent tackle. Yeah,
it was. How are you, first of all? We've got 6 days till Christmas. You've been out in Croatia, you've been doing this, that, and other. How are you getting on? I haven't seen you in ages.
Prague is in Czech Republic.
Oh, sorry, yeah. Prague, sorry. I'm thinking of Pula, which is in Croatia.
I was playing poker over there. It was good fun. Then I've been back home. Did the club for the game. I was dreading that, you know. It's the last Liverpool United game we did on the club. It was 7-0 Liverpool.
I remember seeing the highlights going around.
But did you see the shots on target were the same?
What, first half, second half? or from this game to the last game?
Those 2 games. Yeah. But one was 0-0 and one was 7-0. Yeah, I'm looking forward to Christmas. You know why? I very rarely switch off. Like even when I got a day off, I don't switch off in it. It's one of these horrible like most of our life is, we have a lot of advantages, and I'm very grateful for our life. But one of the horrible things about it is it's very hard to switch off from social media and your phone and all those kind of things, right? And I like just kind of like switching off around Christmas and just chilling with my family and that.
How big are you in the present game? Are you a big present boy? Or are you a sort of,
I'm a very giving person. I don't like to receive much. I'm a very giving person. Like I always get everyone everything.
Do you?
This is like, I never get stuff from my friends. I never want stuff from my friends. But my best friend, I'll go and drop them off like stuff for everyone in his house or whatever.
Like some nice little flapjacks in a tin or something like that.
Yeah, like, you know, a few bottles, some chocolates and, you know, shit like that.
You've ripped all of the carpool karaoke.
But like, people don't usually give their friends stuff, right? It's just your family and that, isn't it?
Yeah.
But yeah. So yeah, I like to get into the mood of things. Make sure everyone's looked after. Make sure
what was Christmas like when you
You know
were a
what?
kid?
Yeah, you know.
There's no way you were always like that.
When you're old, yeah. What do you mean?
You would have been a right little I want some presents at Christmas kind of
Oh
kid.
yeah, when you're a kid. Now that's what it's about.
What was your Christmas tradition as a kid? What was Christmas Day like for you? Let's say
So,
1995.
You know how some people wake up, and they wait until like after dinner to open presents and that. That was never happening in my house. Like,
no.
It's 7:30 a.m. and a bomb has gone off in the living room because there's like, you know, toy cars going all over the place, scale electrics, and there's just board games and there's all sorts going on.
A big bag of jelly beans that just exploded.
My mum's hair's all over the place, like she's stressing out, like already, and it's 8 a.m. Yeah. And obviously when my brother came along, that kind of thing got more fun for me, right? Because I had someone else with me and all that kind of stuff. Yeah. And then after that, nowadays we can have breakfast and wait a little bit for presents. We're not that family anymore. Obviously, we haven't got many young kids in the house or anything like that. So, but back then, you're not even having breakfast. You're just fucking getting straight in there. Like, let me fucking see what Santa's brought me.
Let's see what he's brought. Yeah. What's the dickhead brought with him today then? Eh? As he smashed it out of the park another year.
Yeah. So then you do that. And then have breakfast, chill around the TV. Yeah, so when my nan was alive, obviously, we used to probably go around hers as well. You see a lot more family and stuff. Because you mentioned when I was 5, my nan was alive at that point. So we go around to hers and you'd see a few family because people would come to theirs. But now it's a lot more. Everyone's just families to themselves. Yeah. You know, you're at home with your mom and your brother. And my dad, when my dad was with them, my mom and dad got separated later on. But anyway, you're going to bring up a lot of memories. You might start crying now.
Let's get into it. Let's go for it.
It's
uncensored. It's uncensored, mate.
But it was better because then I had 2 Christmases, right?
Oh, nice.
So then it's like, back when you have one, it's probably like, oh yeah, your mum buys you presents that are in conjunction with your dad, right?
Yeah.
But then it's like, all right, my dad's buying me presents and my mum's buying me presents. Doubled up.
That is better, isn't it? Yeah, because when they're both buying it together, it maybe one of them will spend a bit more than they would if it's just them by themselves, but it's not twice as much like it is when they're separated. Yeah.
Yeah, or sometimes I'd go Christmas Eve to my dad's, wake up there, have presents there, then my dad would drop me, like have breakfast, my dad would drop me home, because I'd always want to be at home with my mum.
Are you a Brussels sprouts kind of kid? Or are you throwing them straight at the neighbour's cat?
Yeah. Brussels sprouts, fella.
Oh, it's good, isn't it? It is good Christmas, isn't it? I need to start buying
Brussels sprouts. Are class.
It's the 19th. What am I doing?
Brussels sprouts are class. You're not one of these people as well that, oh, let's not have turkey for Christmas this year. You're not one of them, are you?
No, I'm not. I'm well up for a turkey. I like it drier and flavourless, the better. I just want just fucking a pile of wood chippings that's called a turkey. Just clogging up my throat.
I love a turkey.
Can barely swallow it.
Have you seen this thing where people are deep frying turkeys?
They look so nice. But every single person you ever watch gets the fucking oil level wrong at first, don't they? And they dip it in and the oil just flies over and goes all over their feet. Everyone misjudges the oil level.
Yeah, or like there's fires like spraying out of it and that. Because like if there's too much moisture in it, it could like
Just set on
be a
fire.
little explosion in it.
Everyone just says, though, that that's like the tastiest, most delicious possible way to cook a turkey as well, you know. Oh, God, I'd love to try that. Just deep frying the bastard. And they cook in like 40 minutes as well, don't they? When you deep fry them. I might try and do that this year. Right then, that is going to be all from us, but let's quickly talk about Dublin once again before we go. The 28th of December, the little gooch between Christmas and New Year, where you don't know what to do. Well, now you do. Come down and watch Stretford Paddock live in Dublin. Me, Adam, Steve, Jay, and of course, big bad Wes Brown will be there as well. Come see us, come chat to us afterwards. Have a great night. Have a little chatty, little fun. Last year was one of the best nights of my entire life. So make sure you come down to Dublin if you're nearby, or come over if you fancy it as well. The link to tickets is in the description. Thank you, Adam, for coming on. You're going to be here for the watch along, aren't you, for the West Ham game?
Yeah, cannot wait. We're going to get battered.
No, we're not going to get battered. You said it yourself. Scott McTominay is going to score the equaliser in a 1-1 draw, and he's going to keep his place for another 2 weeks. Yay!
Kill me
See you
now.
in a bit.